Well, hey, real estate fans, welcome back to the podcast. I'm Alice Lema. I'm a principal broker at Home and Land Real Estate, and we have some really interesting news this week to report. The housing market is going into a recovery. And guess what? The big data guys confirmed it. I've got a beautiful chart here from KCM, but it confirms what we did on the podcast last week. So I was right. I love being right, but I don't want to gloat. So here we go. If you look at the chart 2024, 2025, and 2026, you can see that between 2024, even though that was still a little low, our existing sales were still a little low in 2024. Our average is more like 5 million or close to it. And these are national averages, but you can see that 2025 was lower than 2024. And 2026 is well positioned to have a boost up. So if our number of home sales goes up, that shows that the market is feeling better about itself, about the world, about the economy. It's a package uptick. And this is really exciting for Southern Oregon because Southern Oregon frequently outpaces the national average. So we thank KCM for putting this beautiful graph together. It was combined data from Fannie Mae MBA, which is Mortgage Broker Association, and NAR, which is National Association of Realtors. So that looks really, really good. And we're so happy to confirm what we were experiencing starting to happen last week. So what does this mean to local buyers and sellers? Well, buyers, this means that there's going to be more activity. And we noticed that we had more buyers in the market last week and the last couple of weeks, but there's still more sellers than buyers. So the market is still considered a little bit soft, but it's starting to change. We had a few more multiple offer situations in Jackson County this week. We also had 3 closings in Jackson County this week that were over $1 million just in 1 week. So you see, there's a little energy picking up, and that energy will start to spiral upward. It'll give a boost all the way across our local market. So buyers, get out there, get your house done, because even though Jackson County has only gone up 1.4% in prices year to date, and this is October, early October, that makes a difference. That can be $5, $10, $15,000 in price, and that's closing costs, or that's your pre-approval. So buyers, don't mess around. This is the beginning of low growth, and it's going to be slow. It's going to be the 1 to 3%, but for a lot of you, it makes a difference. So do not mess around. Get out there and get your property, and you enjoy the additional equity over the next few years. Sellers, I have a special message for you. Even though we're going into recovery mode, it does not mean you can charge anything you want. Look at the comps in your neighborhood. If you're in the country, look at the comps for the average, whatever it is you have. And maybe you can add 1.4%. If you're in a $500 to $1 million property, that might make a big difference. If you're in a house in town, that's going to be more in the $300,000 and $400,000, it'll be that $5,000 to $15,000 difference. But don't go over that. And you got to remember, sellers, the price reduction rate. We haven't talked about that in a while. Jackson County price reductions this week, 50%, 50%. That's half the listings, sellers. Half the listings in Jackson County did a price change, downward price reduction. Josephine County had 51% price reduction on their listings, and Klamath County had 47%. So you can see that sellers are still not hitting their market. They're not hitting their price point compared to the rest of the market. So sellers, be careful of that. And also, don't be bent out of shape when the buyers ask you for stuff. They're asking for appliances. They're asking for closing costs. They're asking for extra money to buy the interest rate down. They're asking for home warranties. That's normal for right now. It's not normal for a seller's market, but we're not in a seller's market. We're in a buyer's market that's transitioning into a recovery. How long the recovery is going to take, we'll see. I predict it's going to be low and slow. That's been my motto all year. So with that in mind, I want you to give me a call, give me a text, 541-301-7980. That's 541-301-7980. Great listing agent, great buyer's agent, great with investments. I'm an investor myself. I'm also the owner of Home Nest Property Management, so we can take care of you that way. But give me a call, give me a text, and let's talk about what we're going to do with your real estate life and how we can get a good deal if you're buying and do the best that we can, but get you on with your life if you're selling. So with that in mind, hug those you love. We hope to talk to you soon. Bye now.